We're talking about coronavirus and Apple. What do you think, to sort of paraphrase Langston Hughes, what happens to an iPhone deferred? Are people just going to end up buying just as many just a bit later once the coronavirus fears ease up, or will some of those sales be lost?
Yeah, our take is iPhone products broadly or Apple products are not really swappable. So if you want an AirPod Pro, you want an iPhone, chances are you'll wait for 1 week or 3 weeks or 2 weeks or 2 months to get the product. So we don't think the demand is lost. Demand is potentially pushed out. The nuance here, I would say, is going to become the more this thing gets pushed out, especially iPhones, you will run up against the iPhone 5G launches. So at some point, this could be a demand that's getting pushed out all the way from Feb, March, April to September potentially.
And Nehal, I wonder about the overall ecosystem effect of this should the COVID-19 coronavirus concerns continue to extend, because we've already got companies dropping out of the RSA security conference. Now we've got Facebook and Sony dropping out of the game developers conference. I'm not sure Sony was that committed to begin with. Could this eventually affect developer conferences from Apple and Google, which are granted 3 more months or so out? If so, what are the implications?
I think the likelihood that U.S.-based conferences are impacted in terms of attendance, given the RSA data point that you just pointed out, sure, that's possible. But with respect to demand, I absolutely agree with Amit that you're just pushing out demand. We do think that demand is probably going to push out to fiscal year 21, though, as we do think that this issue is going to persist into the June quarter. So, yeah, these game developer conferences that go out to the June quarter will probably be affected as well. But as far as iPhone demand, no. I don't think we're going to have an impact on iPhone demand in its entirety. Finally, I would just point out that if you're not buying an iPhone in March or June, and then you're ready to buy an iPhone in September because the coronavirus has cleared up, you're probably going to wait another month or two until the December quarter. And that's why we shifted basically $11 billion of revenue from fiscal year 20 to fiscal year 21.
Nehal, though, just listening to you speak about the fact that we, could see the recouping in terms of that iPhone demand later on down the road. I mean, I just wonder, though, the longer you have people that are out of work and factories closed, for example, the more companies that come out and say that as this situation persists, that they're not actually able to afford to pay their employees. Once things actually do normalize and people are able to start collecting paychecks again, are they going to choose that more expensive iPhone, or are they now going to either defer that purchase or maybe find something more affordable from a competitor?
I think the vast majority of iPhone buyers in China are middle income to high income, not into lower income that are factory workers. So I don't think that's going to be a significant impact there.
Finally, Amit, there were some reports yesterday that Apple's trying to diversify some production into Taiwan. I mean, all that we've heard about for the past several years is their heavy reliance on Foxconn. How much elasticity is, in fact, in that chain?
I'd say there's a modest amount of elasticity here, right? There's a little bit in Taiwan. Vietnam is starting to ramp up a fair amount. India is fairly relevant. So there's a little bit of elasticity, but here's the reality. You have about 6 weeks of inventory in the channel. That could help you a little bit here. And then you have maybe about 20% by our estimates of production capacity outside of China. That could be a bit of a tailwind as well. The one other thing I'll throw out there, watch for the services number as they report the next quarter, because the more people are going to be quarantined, we think the App Store revenues and the services revenues will accelerate in a fairly substantial manner for Apple. So that could be a small offset to the iPhone challenges.